Someone said in the chat, and I agree, it is painful to watch. The whole thing is this. Sometimes the shock value is needed. And I wanted to also highlight this. Another reason I want to highlight this is because we have to move above the race component. And that's why I'm going to, when I teach week 5, like I said, I got white papers and different Cambridge University papers and different things. I'm going to break down what really happened in slavery. Everything they told us in slavery was a lie. Everything the media have perpetrated with Roots and all that in the United States was a bold-faced lie. They would make you believe that our children growing up, that every white person they see had some link or ancestry as plantation owners and slave masters. That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. All white people weren't slave owners. But there was a specific group who benefited above all white people. And I'm going to go into that in what really happened in slavery, where they would like more so for us to more so point to white Christians as the reason for slavery. And let me tell you, a lot of white people came over here from their countries. They were peasants in their country. And they came over here risking their life in the ships, on the shores, on the waters, to come here to start a new life being peasants in their country. Getting menial jobs, okay? Slave catchers, and all these other little jobs they would get. But who hired them? Who hired them? So everything they told us about slavery is a lie. You had white people who were peasants who came in the country, who would work in the house of black free slaves. You had blacks that came over here that weren't slaves, in high position, politically and otherwise, who were hiring white peasants from overseas. Did y'all know that? At the same time slavery was going on. Did you know that? And I'm pointing this out, folks, because we have to get beyond this small little race thing that keeps us from realizing the real enemy. This woman isn't black. And they're attacking her the same as they're attacking everyone else. Okay? So I wanted to highlight that. Before I go in, Elder Lloyd, you say in the midst of that, while the video was playing, a few things came to you.
Yes, sir. First, as you were mentioning, what's taking place is a culling, a reducing of the population, beginning primarily with the elderly. And it tells us in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse number 49 through 50. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
Yeah. They have no regard for our youth. They don't care about our youth. And they're putting down our elderly, folks. Our aged. Right? And they're doing it right before our eyes with no resistance. So they had to first cover the earth with darkness and confusion, so that there'll be no pushback or resistance while they're putting down our family. And it's happening right before our eyes, folks. It's happening. Anything else you got, Elder Lloyd?
Yes, sir. Just a few more.
Let's go.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 6. I was wroth with my people. I polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancient, the elderly. thou hast verily, or thou hast very heavily laid thy yoke. Now, as you were mentioning earlier, in the midst of all this, as this calling is taking place, what's happening with the leadership?
You can come on over here.
Yes, sir. Last night, I was on a call with the family over in Tennessee, and they were mentioning that there's a very prominent pastor in Tennessee who is now being used to actually bring the people under this idea, right, that the vaccine is safe. You know, same thing that they've been, pushing with certain leaders and trying to get people to accept the idea of being jabbed. So a lot of these leaders, as the elder has stated, they're going to be used not to warn the people, but more so to quell their sentiments, to keep them asleep, to make them think it's okay. It says this here in the book of Isaiah, chapter 56, verse 10. This is the last one. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Yea, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, every one for his gain from his quarter.